Good evening. My name is Gabby Britt, and I will be talking to you guys about the techniques used in aggression replacement training, which I will also refer to as ART. Now remember, as Sandra mentioned earlier, ART is an active learning approach. So the clients are learning by doing. So the biggest techniques that we're using throughout all of ART is modeling, role-playing, and rehearsing. And the goal is that we're teaching group members how to deal with people. If we can teach them the social skills that they need and are lacking, then we hope to interrupt that pattern of anger and aggressive behavior. Now, the first techniques I will be talking about are the skill streaming techniques. Remember that ART is twice a week. One day we're focusing on skill streaming, and the second day we're focusing on anger control training. So the techniques we're using for skill streaming. First of all, we are identifying the pro-social skills that the group members are lacking. So we are looking to see which pro-social skills they could really increase. For example, apologizing, dealing with interruptions, dealing with their feelings of anger or annoyance about someone else, and even the basics of introducing themselves. Secondly, the facilitators are modeling this particular skill that they are lacking. And then the group members all take turns role-playing this particular pro-social skill. We encourage them to think of current life situations that they are dealing with and to find a co-actor that reminds them of a current life situation. Next, the facilitators provide performance feedback, letting them know what they did right and what they did wrong. And then the group members are encouraged to role play again, but this time with the corrections from the facilitators. And lastly, in the skill streaming portion of ART, we are encouraging the group members to generalize this behavior out into the public. So we give them homework to keep practicing this pro-social skill that they learned for the week. So here's an example of a skill streaming card. I also brought some cards with me today so you can see that they look just like this. This one is for apologizing. So we are trying to teach the group members how to apologize to others. And you can look at it as so. Next, I'm going to talk about the techniques for the anger control training component of ART. First thing we're going to do is teach group members the ABCs of aggressive behavior. Antecedent, what led up to the aggression, behavior, what did you do in that situation, and consequence, what were the consequences of your behavior. Next, we're going to teach group members to learn to identify the triggers to their anger. So we have the group members fill out hassle logs, and this helps them recognize the who, the when, the where, and the how in regards to their anger and what led to the aggression. We're also teaching group members to learn to identify anger cues. So facilitators are providing examples of bodily signs to anger. For example, clenched fist, turning really hot and red, feeling your heart beating really fast. Those types of things that signal that you are getting really angry and upset. And group members are encouraged to role play conflict situations in order to help them recognize those bodily cues to anger. Group members also learn anger reducers. So facilitators model techniques such as deep breathing, counting backwards, and pleasant imageries. And then the group members role play and practice these anger reducing skills. Group members are also taught to use reminders. So facilitators model how to use reminders to increase self-control. For example, group members may be able to say, calm down, I need to walk away from this situation. Reminders like that to help them get out of really anger-provoking situations. And then the group members role play how to use the reminders. Next, group members are taught self-evaluation. So facilitators model self-rewarding and self-coaching statements. So whenever we are doing something right, when a group member is able to control themselves in a very anger-provoking situation and not become aggressive, then they can self-reward themselves by saying things like, good job, you did a good job that time, you stayed out of trouble. And so the group members role play all of these different steps, including self-evaluation. We also teach the group members about thinking ahead. So we're encouraging them and modeling to them the chain of events from triggers all the way through down to thinking ahead and thinking about the short-term and long-term consequences of their aggressive behavior. The group members are encouraged to role play these situations from triggers all the way to thinking ahead, and then the facilitators are giving feedback to the group members about their role play. The last technique that I'm going to talk about is group members learning about the angry behavior cycle. So that is what their behavior, their anger-provoking behavior is. What is contributing to this whole situation? What are group members doing that are causing this cycle of anger, behavior, and so forth? For example, if a youth comes home very late after curfew and their mother gets really upset with them and starts yelling at them, and then that youth starts yelling and screaming as well, then we see that all could have been never happened if the youth had just never gotten home late or had come in early from curfew. So we are just continuing to go through these different techniques over and over again in the anger control training. We're teaching them triggers, cues, anger reducers, using reminders, putting in that skill streaming pro-social skill that we've been teaching them on the first day of the week, and then self-evaluation. So that's my portion of the PowerPoint. Do you guys have any questions? Okay, thank you. Have a great day.